back to day 26 of the 30-day credit comeback challenge. Today's topic might just be the most powerful one yet because it's not about the credit bureaus, disputes, or letters. It's about how you think and feel about money. Because the truth is, you can learn all the laws, the tricks, and the repair methods, but if your mindset about money doesn't change, your results won't last. All right. So today we're talking about what I call the psychology of money. So, how your thoughts, emotions, and habits influence everyday decisions you make, and how you can finally start to change that pattern, right? Because remember, I said last video, knowledge is power, knowledge builds confidence. All right. So, let's go over some things. Emotions and money. Emotions and money. Let's start here. Have you ever gone shopping because you were stressed, sad, or just having a bad day? Maybe you told yourself, I deserve this, or I'll deal with it later. That right there is what we call emotional spending. And listen, almost everyone does it at some point. When life feels heavy or out of control, if you got it, even if you don't have it, spending is a quick rush of relief. It feels like we're taking back control, but what it really does is it really just stresses us out further down the road. And the worst part is the guilt that comes after you're happy for about 5 minutes. Then that little voice creeps in and said, "What? Why did I do that? Why did I do that?" Here's the truth: emotional spending doesn't mean you're bad with money. It just means you've been using money to soothe emotions instead of solve problems. And the good news is, once you recognize that pattern, you can change it. So next time you get that urge to spend, just pause and ask yourself, am I buying this because I need it or because I need to feel better? That one question can save you hundreds over time. All right, maybe even thousands for some of y'all. I don't know how y'all are spending. Let me know in the comment section. Your money mindset. Now let's talk about mindset because your mindset runs the show. There are two main types when it comes to money, right? We got scarcity and abundance. A scarcity mindset says, there's never enough. I can't get ahead. If I save this money, something bad will happen. That mindset comes from survival, from fear. And when we live in that space, we make emotional, rushed, or desperate financial choices. An abundance mindset, on the other hand, though, it says I have enough and I can create more. It doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything's perfect. It just means you trust yourself. You believe your situation can improve through smart choices. Scarcity keeps you anxious, abundance keeps you calm. Scarcity reacts, abundance plans. So start catching those scarcity thoughts and flipping them. Instead of saying, I'll never be debt free, say, my debt is temporary and I'm working on eliminating it. All right. Instead of saying, I can't afford anything, say, I'm prioritizing what matters most right now. Because you really are. You see the shift that we're doing there, right? It's small, but over time it changes everything. All right. Short term versus long term thinking. Let's talk about another mindset pattern, short term versus long term thinking. When money is tight, it's hard to think beyond today. You're focused on rent, gas, or the next bill, and that's survival mode. But survival mode keeps you stuck in the same cycle. That's why instant gratification, that I want it now feeling, is so dangerous. It literally gives temporary comfort, but it takes a long term peace, right? It takes away your peace long term. So every time you say, I'll deal with it later, you're choosing short term comfort over future progress. So here's a trick. Before you make a money decision, ask, how will this affect me 30 days from now? Is this helping my future or making things harder for them? If it's not helping your future, pause. That one moment of awareness is how you start winning. Building credit, saving money, paying debt, it's all about delayed gratification. The people who build wealth aren't always smarter. They're just more patient, right? They think about the long term, and you can do that too, starting today. That's why you're in this class. That's why you're here for this long, because you're serious, right? And that is the first step. And then maybe you realize that you have a issue and that you don't have a good relationship with money, and you're in this class and you're like, okay, you know what? I can learn a few things or two in these next few minutes. All right? Your relationship with money. Now let's get real for a second. A lot of our money habits come from childhood. What we saw, what we heard, and what we felt. If you grew up watching people fight over money, you probably feel anxiety around it now. If you grew up hearing we can't afford that, you might still carry a fear of never having enough. That's what people call money trauma, and it's real. It is real, y'all. The first step to healing it is recognizing it. You can't fix what you don't face. So instead of running for money, start getting comfortable with it again. Look at your balances, open your statements, check your reports. Even if it's uncomfortable, facing it gives you back your power. I cannot tell you how many times I've heard, I don't even know. I didn't even look at my credit report. Do you know what your score is? Some people don't even know. They don't even know. They don't have no credit mind. They don't even know. They don't have a clue. And it's because they're scared to look at it. Right? And the more you face it, the more control you gain. All right? How this connects to credit repair? You might be wondering, okay, but what does all this mindset stuff have to do with my credit score? Everything. When your mindset changes, your habits change. And your habits are what build or break your credit. When you stop emotionally spending, you keep balances low. When you start thinking long term, you pay bills on time. When you feel abundant, you make smart moves instead of panic ones. As Morgan Housel said in The Psychology of Money, doing well with money has little to do with how smart you are and everything to do with how you behave. So remember, your credit comeback starts in your mind before it shows up on paper. Wrapping this up, I want to take a moment today and really think about your relationship with money. Ask yourself, what do I believe about money? What triggers me to spend? What fears do I still carry? And then write down one positive belief to replace an old one. Example, I'm always broke becomes I'm learning to manage my money better every day. I'm bad with credit becomes I'm building new habits that improve my credit. These little rewrite programs that you're going to do, how you see money, and that's how you create lasting change. All right? Because you're not just repairing your credit, you're repairing your mindset, your confidence, and your peace of mind, right? What's good is it to clean up all of these things and then go right back to the same habits that got you there in the first place? It's not going to feel good because you're going to feel like, hey, like in in 3 to 6 months, my credit report is going to look like it did when it first started, when I wasn't getting approved for anything, when, everything kept going into collections, charge offs kept popping up, all these different things, right? You don't want that, all right? Again, you're repairing your mindset, you're repairing your confidence, you're repairing your peace of mind when you learn when you learn and change your habits. All right, so you made it to day 26. That means you're not just fixing numbers, you're transforming your relationship with money from the inside out. So stay consistent, stay aware, and keep believing you can, because you can. All right, so that's it for today, and I will see you guys in day 27.